What day are you on?
Winter cut day 76.
No, stop. Cut. And action.
Oh my god. I gotta anchor it down with my feet.
All right, boys. Winter cut day 76. 47? 74?
76. That's right.
That's right. All right, boys. Winter cut day 76.
It's the Joe Show.
No.
He's back at it again, boys.
We're going to go in the bulk. 315.
315's coming. And we're not talking about a bench press. We're talking about 315 body weight.
Yeah, I can easily do that.
We were both talking the other day about how we could easily gain, like, basically 100 pounds just from eating the way we like.
Put in butter and everything. Make sure you eat, like, chocolate, sweets, sugar, candy, just like random BS and stupid stuff that you shouldn't be eating.
Bulking's easy. It's very easy, to be honest. Like, if you're natty, it's extremely easy. If you're on gear and you're having to put down like 8,000 calories, that's pretty difficult because it's all just chicken and rice, usually. And chicken's hard to eat a lot of. Like, when you're eating 5 pounds, 6, 7 pounds a day of chicken, which I don't think is necessary, but they do it.
Dude, why is everybody driving like this?
I don't know,
Nobody
dude.
wants to drive. Like, I got somewhere to go. Like, please drive.
Could you imagine if you took roids? You'd have road rage and roid rage. It'd be amazing. Now, I've heard stories.
My zits would have zits.
Yeah. Oh. I've heard stories of people like saying, "Oh yeah, sometimes in traffic I'll get out of my car and I'll go and try to fight somebody." And I'm like, dude, who does that? Who actually does that?
Boxing ring.
Yeah, just if you want to actually fight somebody, do it in like a civilized manner, bro. Like, that's the thing. This guy, of course, he said a boxing ring though, because he has a fight coming up. That's all he's thinking about.
It's on Saturday. Golden Gloves for Western PA.
What weight class are you fighting
176. I'm excited about it.
in? Yeah, this guy's, he's built for it.
I'm built for speed. I don't know why I wanted to say that.
No, you are pretty quick though, especially like in shadow boxing when you don't have those big heavy gloves on. You're super lightning quick.
This will be my 5th fight.
This will be watching my 5th fight.
No, you've watched more fights than that. Just you haven't watched more fights than 5 with me, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds bad, but usually when you do a fight, Joe, and I'm there, I just really watch your fight, and then I kind of just don't really pay attention to the other fights. So that's why I count it as my, like, I don't really ever think, oh, I want to...
You've seen UFC fights, you've seen...
Yeah, but I'm saying in person. I'm saying in person, like, fights that I've paid attention to. So I guess I'm narrowing it down a little too much. But UFC fights that I have seen, a notable one was Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. That was a pretty good one.
That was a good fight.
That was an upset, too.
It wasn't a good fight. It was like... It was a skilled fight because Sean Strickland just didn't go down to the ground. He fought a standing up, striking fight against Israel Adesanya. And he really didn't like... He was... I don't want to say he was aggressive because he really wasn't, but he was. He was aggressive with his footwork, but not necessarily with his hands.
Yeah, I think, like, a lot of people pointed out how good Sean's defense was.
Oh, it's
and how
incredible.
he pretty much just absorbed everything that came his way and was able to turn it against Israel pretty easily. But, and then who was the guy Sean fought recently and lost to?
I heard that he actually should have beaten him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know because I didn't see it, so I don't even know. I'm just going based off of what I heard.
Dude, people are biased though, a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Sean is a super likable person. He's funny and all that, so I guarantee you people are more like, oh, you should have won. But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, there are objective things you can look for, like if a fight went the way it shouldn't have.
Also, it's funny because it's like after I fought, like seeing things like when people go, like for instance, there was the Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis is his nickname. He was against Ryan Garcia, and he did a body shot to Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia took like 10 seconds before he fell down. So here's the thing. There's two things to that. One, he was not faking it. I have been hit hard, right in the kidney, right in the liver. And sometimes you're like, oh, this is nothing. And then seconds go by, and then it's like, oh my gosh, this is worse than I thought. And then as you're progressing while you're sparring, at least in this case when it happened to me, as the time goes on, you're like, okay, this hurts much worse, and it gets worse and worse, and then you're like, I need to take a knee. Oh my gosh. Now, if you get punched in the jaw and you get knocked out, you can't help that. I mean, you can do preventative measures, but it only goes so far. But whenever you actually get hit in the kidney or in the liver and you go down, going down isn't the problem. He could have, I do believe he could have, if his mind was there, stood up after that. Him getting dropped, people say, oh, that was fake. No, it was not fake. He really did get hit. He really did get hit hard. He really did legitimately take a knee because of the pain. Getting up, could he have done it? Maybe. He might have just said, you know what, to heck with it. This hurt bad. I'm not putting my body through anymore. I don't know. But it was a legit punch.
Those organ shots are unreal. I've never taken one, but it's very obvious.
That
like
one time, didn't I hit you in the stomach? That one time when we were at West Virginia.
You hit me. You hit me in the nose, right center on my nose. We were sparring one time, and we were in like the basement of a church in West Virginia, and it was a pretty fun little boxing gym. And he was going up against everybody in the whole gym. And they were like, Max, spar your brother. So I went up and I sparred him. And then, he was already super tired fighting everybody in a row, like basically no breaks.
Because the trainer's thing was, we'd rather you get your butt kicked now in front of your fans, your friends, your family, and I want you to beat your opponent.
Right. So that worked pretty well. It got him in shape. It got his conditioning a lot better. It got him ready to get hit. It kind of broke his fear of getting hit down a lot more.
It helped my mental toughness, too.
But whenever I got in with him, I was doing, pretty decent. Like, obviously because he was tired and I wasn't. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he just threw like a perfect jab or something. It was some kind of straight. And, dude, it hit me right in the nose, and I saw like light, bro. And I hit the ground. And it was like the hardest I'd ever been hit. And I was just like, I'm glad I know what it's like. Because if I ever get hit by somebody, like some random dude, like I'll at least know what to expect. But even then, it probably wouldn't even be as hard. Because that was like a perfectly placed shot right here at the bridge of my nose. And it freaking definitely...
And most people don't know how to throw a punch. Even in boxing, a lot of people... I was watching potentially one of the guys that I could very well be fighting, and he didn't have much... His arms were big. He had big arms. Like, he was ripped. His arms were huge. Like, his biceps, his triceps, they were just huge. And I honestly don't understand how he weighs 176. Everybody, every coach, every fighter thought he was in the 200s. That's how big this guy is. He's like 6'3", huge. Thing is, when I watched his fight, it didn't look like he knew how to throw bombs. Like, when he was throwing punches, it didn't look like they were hard punches. Now, granted, looks can be deceiving. Being in there is going to be a lot different, and I really would rather not fight him. But if I do fight him, I have confidence in myself that I can win. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it right now. I wouldn't be in the Golden Gloves. But a lot of people, even boxers, don't know how to punch. They don't know how to use their hips, how to use the ground, how to use momentum, how to punch going backwards, punch going forwards, punch staying stationary, punch going to the left or the right, how to dodge, move, weave, bob, duck, all of it. A lot of people don't know how to do that stuff, which is really kind of crazy because it's not that hard, but it is.
It seems like people are brought up too much in sparring when they need to be taught more outside of sparring and utilize what they've been taught in sparring more. If that makes sense. But I feel like a lot of people, they get in the ring too early and then they just build off of a bad foundation. At least that's what I've observed before. A lot of guys who kind of just stay at that novice level forever in boxing, they'll come in and they'll go, they'll work really hard at it. They'll go hard in the gym and hard in sparring, but they don't have the skill or the technique. And I think there's a fine line between obsessing over, I'm not a boxer, so you would know more about this, but I think there's a fine line between obsessing over every little detail of your technique and never actually getting the conditioning and the hard sparring and the experience, and only sparring super hard and putting the technique and the skill and the tricks and stuff on the back burner. You know what I'm saying? There's a fine line between those two things.
Yeah. It's just like anything else in life. A lot of people they just want to get into something without learning all the technique behind it. Even doing YouTube, having a YouTube channel, being a social media influencer. It's not, let me just make a video and put it out there. No, it's, what kind of content do I want to put out there? What do I want to be known for? And then once you figure out what you're known for, coming up with ideas that aren't the same as everybody else and aren't the same as your last video. It's a lot of you're your own script writer. You're your own, if it's a movie and they have the guy who does all the scripts, oh, this person's gonna say this and that person's gonna say that, and here's how it's going to be, the director and all that. You're your own director, script writer, actor, filmmaker, editor. It's not that easy. It really isn't. It's easy to put crap content out there. It's easy to put any content out there. It's easy to not care about it. And that's why you see some people, whether you like them or hate them, like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, whenever they were social media influencers and they were popular, because they put a lot of time, effort, and hard work into it. Even if you hate their guts, they did what, a lot of people, they just want to make a video and put it out there and clip maybe 30 minutes off of their hour-long video and then have that as two separate videos. And it's well, you didn't edit it. You didn't make it flashy and fun and make people want to come to you. You didn't have any catchphrases. You didn't have whatever.
Just things that make you unique.
Yeah.
That's important. And authenticity, I feel is what people are looking for now, more so now than ever these days. And just something but even then, authenticity is something that makes you unique. So being unique is the overarching thing that everybody should be striving for in their content, but not necessarily trying to be different, but just trying to be all right, here's something I'm good at, and here's something I'm going to show in my own way,
Yeah. Even losing weight, that's a skill of its own. I was 195 in January 1st. And I'm down to 176 right now, and it's March 5th, 6th, 7th, something like that, 7th, I think. And my fight is day after tomorrow. And the weight class I'm in is 176.0. If I'm 176.1, I have to fight people that are at 203 pounds.
My God,
maximum.
Dude. So you're going to be fighting the 6'8" great who cut down?
Yep.
Jeez, dude.
Yep. So it's okay,
crazy.
Well, how do I make sure that I do this? Well, calories in, calories out. Well, now I'm at a point where I'm just you don't want to be dehydrated and be sluggish and feel like crap, and then drink so much right after you weigh in that you have to pee during your fight. You don't want that either. So it's finding that balance of, okay, well, how much water is in me that I don't need? So, okay, like, you drink X amount of water, and then you know, this whole week, I've been drinking a gallon of water almost every single day. And then, like, today, I'm drinking, well, actually, more than a gallon, probably closer to a gallon and a half of water every single day. And then today, I'm drinking maybe a quarter of a gallon and just letting my body pee it all out, sweat it all out, get rid of all of that. And I weighed myself this morning at 176 pounds, 176.6 pounds. I peed, I was 176.0. I did a workout this morning. I didn't really drink much water. I only had 2 eggs, and I weighed myself, and I weighed in at 174.6. Well, I don't know how the scale is going to be calibrated, so I need to be prepared for the scale not being the same as the one at home. So 174 is definitely a good number.
Kind of. Oh god.
Can you go now?
Oh yeah, my bad.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
Oh,
I
you
feel
put me in a
rude.
spot. Oh.
You want me to go closer?
No, you're good. I just. All right. See you, buddy. Thanks
See ya,
for taking
buddy.
me. Have fun.
Have fun.
Okay. We're starting off with calf raises today. Heavy, hard. You guys know what I'm doing. Calves are a little sore though, because I've just been pretty much constantly jumping on that freaking trampoline. So I might have to ease up on that and just start walking more leading up to leg day instead of jumping, but we'll see. Anyway, I gotta start off with a lighter weight, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. We're really just gonna try to get pretty nasty stretches in this warm-up. Nothing too intense, because obviously stretching provides a stimulus for the muscle, and it gives a little bit of fatigue to the muscle as well. But we want to try to avoid that and put all of our effort into our top set of heavy calf raises with that big stretch I was talking about. So just getting used to that range of motion in these warm-ups. Single leg actually felt really good. I could definitely picture myself doing that. I'm gonna start single leg today. That's what I'm doing. Oh, that's not even. Slide over here. So if I was doing it on both legs, that'd be the equivalent of 460 pounds. But because it's unilateral, it feels a lot easier. Put all our energy into this one calf, huh? 230 pounds. I want to get this for 5 reps. Alright. That felt nice. We're gonna go for the same amount of reps on the right. Right feels a little tweaked though. Feels like the Achilles is feeling a little weird, but we're still gonna get it done. Those Machiavelli motivation videos just hit right, man. Seriously. I had to go on to YT to MP3 download freaking .org or something, just to download this Machiavelli motivation video from Dorian Yates because it's so heat, bro. It's fire. It's absolutely insane. That sounded kind of cringy, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's pretty intense. I love the feeling of hearing like the cinematic music and the speeches from these bodybuilders or whatever, this dialogue, and then also having like them lifting in the background. It just sounds very cool. Makes me feel like the main character a little bit. Far from it yet though. Oh, misgroove. Stretch ain't that good. It's being weird for some reason. Let's get one more good one. Okay. That was difficult. I don't know why I feel so weird on my right versus my left leg. Oh, and if you guys couldn't tell, I fixed my headphones. I use the instant cement hack where, so I don't know if you can see it. I want to be careful taking them off, but this little like, white part here looks like, I don't know, plastic or something that I added onto it. Is just super glue around the whole radius of this thing. I put it together, I held it there for a little bit, let it dry for 10 minutes. Then I put some baking soda onto it. It hardened up real quick and easy. Because if you put baking soda on super glue, it hardens up like instantly. And then, you know, you just keep adding layers, super glue and, you know, baking soda and stuff, and it works pretty well. But yeah, I did 2 initial layers of super glue, and that took about 20 minutes. On the second layer is when I put the baking soda, now that I'm thinking about it. And it was very easy. And then I just took a toothbrush after and just scraped away all the excess baking soda, which didn't really work. So then after that, I used just a paper towel and just wiped it off. But yeah, I mean, this thing, obviously it works pretty good. I hope I don't break it on camera. That'd be pretty sad, but you guys can see it's still bendy and everything, and it's still together. So whereas before this ear were just kind of hanging off, so. Whew. Anyway, left side now. I took way too long of a rest probably. That was, I don't know what that looked like, but that was definitely failure, dude. Calf pump is ridiculous. I saw a boatload of veins like right here. I honestly though, I will not be satisfied till I have calves like Dorian Yates. That guy had insane calves. Insane. There's few other people with calves like that. There's another guy I can't think of, kind of a more obscure bodybuilder in the sense if he's not super well known, but he's also, like, he's known for his calves specifically. His calves are just absolutely monstrous and proportionally humongous compared to the rest of his body, and the rest of his body is also huge. So, but I think Dorian Yates though had a great ratio. Good, probably some of the best proportions in bodybuilding. You know, he was the first mass monster. The first mass monster was Dorian Yates. He did a great job at that, man. Huge back, huge calves. And the thing is too, I'll just talk about this for a second. His arms were always a weak point for him, and he tried, I believe it was like, the story is kind of like, he tried Mike Mentor's training style, just implemented that intensity into his training, and then his arms were able to grow a lot from there. And, you know, so was the rest of his body, but especially his arms were brought up from being a weak point to a strong point. So that's one factor that a lot of people don't realize, is that they'll tell you to throw more volume at things in hopes that it'll change the outcome. But in reality, the solution is not more volume. it's usually always just an intensity issue, especially if you're newer or if you've always just been a volume guy and you're not used to that level of intensity. It's much easier to bring that intensity if you lower the volume. And those high quality reps, those intense reps with that low volume are going to pair up to some pretty insane gains if you've never tried it before. So anyway, I got to get a different song on. Oh, God, that was heavy. I felt that up my shin. Holy crap. Ah. Woof. 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 Only issue I'm seeing so far is that the actual shin is starting to be getting a lot of pain on the right leg, so I think we're gonna move on to something else. Where would we be without Tom Platz and Dorian Yates? I have no idea. We got both of them liger today. Dorian Yates for the Cavs, Tom Platz for the, well, I guess for the Cavs also. I talked about this before. Sometimes before I would warm up so much, I would do warm-up sets for everything throughout my whole workout, even if the muscle group is the same. So like for calf raises, I do 2 variations, right? But I would do, you know, 3 sets to warm up over there, 3 sets to failure, and then I'd do 3 more sets to warm up here, and then 3 sets to failure. Whereas those 3 sets on this, I don't have to do because my calves are already warmed up. You get what I'm saying? So, once I started doing that, it started working better here. We gotta put some more weight on. There are some people who I think are very knowledgeable in the fitness industry who I follow, learn from, and trust. But there are some things that people say that I just don't agree with. And you don't have to agree with everything somebody says, especially if it's from a science-based guy, right? Or from a scientific paper, you know, a piece of current literature. If you take all the literature in the world that says 1 in 1,000 people need high volume to benefit in their training, but everybody else needs low volume, don't take that paper at face value. Search for what works for you first. And it's not necessary, obviously I believe in the stimulating reps model, which I've talked about in my other videos. Just basically hard reps are the ones that grow you. But at the end of the day, what you enjoy is going to give you the most progress. And anyway, though, that's beside the point. I've heard some guys that I follow and trust say that the absolute max natty limit for everybody is to gain 45 pounds of muscle. And that is just not true. Some guys are more genetically gifted. Like there's a guy who follows me on TikTok. He admires my physique, but I don't know why, because he's way bigger than me, and he's younger, and he's been training for only a year. You know, he's 15 years old. The dude is super gifted genetically. He's already, like I said, substantially bigger than me. And he was born with more muscle fibers than me. It's as simple as that. He has, or he has some kind of myostatin deficiency. Genetically, he's more gifted to put on more muscle, right? His limit is not the same as mine. You cannot argue that. You can make arguments about shape and proportion and who would win in a bodybuilding show. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about specifically muscle size. You can't prescribe one number and just say this is everybody's limit. What about a guy who's 5'5" versus a guy who's 6'5"? Are you seriously saying that their natty limit is the same? That they can both put on 45 pounds of muscle onto their frame? You gotta be kidding me. Obviously, one guy's gonna be a lot bigger. He's gonna have maybe 70 pounds of muscle that he could put on. It just, people like to make these blanket statements all the time, but I just don't agree with all that. And plus, I've also heard some people say that I trust and follow and learn from, that if you go to failure with one weight on a set, and you can do that same weight again for the same amount of reps on the next set, then you didn't go to failure the first time. I completely disagree with that. When you take an easy, like this is a pretty easy movement, right? Where you can very easily go hard, push yourself to failure. Dude, if I get 5 reps and I physically cannot move the weight anymore, no matter how motivated or anything like that, how can you tell me that that wasn't failure? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I guess my point is that everybody's a little different. Maybe I have better endurance than a lot of people, who knows? But again, I'm not just a cookie cutter study example. I'm not from a paper or a piece of literature. I'm a person who's different. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's the same. So anyway, let's get to this set. I believe that was one less breath than the last set. Whew. Whew.
I have 5 yards.
Whew. Oh. Something you really got to bring to your sessions is a plan. You need a goal, and you need focus to execute those things, right? If I come into the gym and I have no idea what I'm gonna do, or I don't have some kind of ritual prepared, right? I don't know what I'm gonna do, or what I'm gonna target, I'm not gonna have a productive workout, because I'm just gonna, there's a difference between instinct training and, not actually even knowing what's going on, right? But I come in and I legitimately, automatically just know exactly what to do. I have a plan every time. I don't really envision anything. I know a lot of people say that, but I don't envision my workouts or anything. I just come in and I know what to do. And it's the same thing almost every single time. And I'll do minor changes as needed. So implementing more of the instinct type of training in there, right, if needed. But I come in here and as for the goal part, I know exactly what I need to hit to be better than last time. I don't have to keep a training log. I just know what the weights I did last time were. I roughly know how many reps I got because my goal is always 5, right? Sometimes I get 4. But then I'll know, hey, maybe that weight, I should reduce it, or I should just try to master that weight, right? But, yeah, always come in here with a plan, in my opinion, and then eventually you'll get used to it. And it's okay to get used to workouts. It's okay to not get brutally sore, right? Because you want to maximize stimulus and avoid fatigue as much as possible anyway. So, Like, I've gotten used to wrist curls at this point. I don't get sore from them anymore. Does that mean I should stop? No. I'm just getting started on 90, 90-pound dumbbell. Does that mean I should stop? No, absolutely not. But, and then I say this for focus, man. You have to dial in for every set. The technique has to be exactly how you want it to be. It has to be, and that comes from the planning also, planning how you want your technique to be, and focusing on the intensity and making sure you stay in your groove during the set. You could easily get misgrooved and not reach failure. So reach failure, guys. Have that intense focus with you. Do whatever you need to do to get that intense focus. Today I want to get an absolutely skin-splitting quad pump. I want it to be painful.
Woo! 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 Woo!
I'm gonna move the seat back a little bit. Yeah, then I'm gonna move this back one. I showed a clip of Jay Cutler motivation to my mom, and she thought it was pretty interesting and funny. I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what she thought about it, but I was telling her basically how I feel like Jay Cutler, and I think I am Jay Cutler. And she was like, "Okay, honey." So I'm on the road to becoming Jay Cutler, guys. Or actually, all kidding aside, I kind of just want to be the best version of me. Sounds cliche, but it's true, right? You can't just get by trying to be somebody else forever. Sometimes you just gotta really be the fullest extent of what you could be. Like Jay Cutler wasn't thinking, oh man, I want to be the next Arnold, or I want to be the next this or that, or I want to be like Platt, or he just wanted to be the best version of himself. And look at him now, everybody wants to be him. Everybody wants to be Ronnie. Everybody wants to be these greats. The reality is, they might have admired people, but they were never like, oh, I want to be somebody else. I want to be me, so. One more set each leg. Honestly, this is definitely the best leg extensions I've ever felt. I really like everything about them. I don't know if it's the way I adjusted the seat or something or whatever, but I've tried them a bunch of different ways, you know, kind of less stretched, more stretched, seat forward, seat back, sitting up because I can't hold myself down properly. But today I was able to hold myself down pretty easily. And I felt like I was super stable and able to really just kick my leg out with a lot of force. So definitely amazing progression so far. I mean, I used to be able to barely budge the full stack, so, and this was fairly recent, so. Excited to eventually throw. And I actually don't think I could throw an extra plate on here of any kind, so it's like covered. If it was up to me, I would rip this crap piece of plastic off or whatever this is. Oh man, it looks like I could just take it off. Huh. I won't do that though. I don't want to get kicked out. And I could just throw a plate on. But, you know, it is what it is. If I had a home gym, that's what I would do, certainly. I think exposed stacks look way cooler than enclosed stacks. I think overall my hamstrings are kind of underdeveloped, just because I haven't really paid much attention to them. Well, lately I have been putting them as a massive priority in my training, but there was a long period of time where I didn't. And I think overall though, like if I competed, I would say the hamstrings aren't as much of a concern as overall just building the quads and just the quad sweep in general. Like, so that's kind of more so what I'm prioritizing right now, is just calves, getting them up to par with my arms, and then getting really big quads to get that X frame. And you know, I'm still working on hamstrings a lot, but I'm not putting them like first, like I do calves or anything like that. So. All right, I'm not gonna go to failure there because I don't want to get more reps than I left. But quads are so pumped, they look blurry. All right, we're gonna max the stack pretty easily here. At least I hope. I think this is the one I can max the stack on. Who knows? Oh yeah, that's easy. It's already almost a full stack. I never do this, but everything else is kind of taken. Oh. All right. I'm gonna go low volume on that today just because I don't want to get extremely sore. Mostly just waiting for the hack squat to get open at this point. Whoop. Yes. Yeah. Ah. Yeah, your muscle itself won't actually give up.
Oh, dude.
What's up? But your central nervous system will. So, what's up?
Dude, I don't feel perfect. I feel 85% better. I'm like ready to.
How was it?
That was awesome.
Skipped leg day?
Heck yeah, dude. I'm not breaking down my muscles today.
Well, I got one more hard set of hack squats remaining, and then if I feel up to it, I'll get some abs in. But
you have them uneven, 4 and 3.
I know I don't.
Juice.
Yep. All right. Yep. Just. Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Ah! Alright, boys. Coming up on bedtime here. I'm really freaking tired. My Wi-Fi keeps going in and out. I was just on the Xbox a little bit ago. But, yeah, anyway, today was a super massively successful leg day. Pretty long video again. Enjoyed it. Feel extremely sore right now. Hamstrings are ridiculous. Glutes are very sore, especially from those split squats, man. They really felt like they were just ripping my glutes to shreds. Quads are in a different dimension. Everything's just sore, dude. Especially the adductors are sore. Calves aren't really sore, which kind of makes sense because I didn't really like single leg today, to be honest. Using both legs is a lot better for that exercise in particular because I feel like it messes with your stability when you just got one leg. I feel like it just is way better for stability when you use both. So, definitely going to be using both in the future. With that said, again, leg day was awesome. So, see you guys tomorrow for shoulder day. The pump is going to be unreal. I'll actually say another thing really quick before I end this off. I'm kind of main gaining now, to be honest. Kind of main gaining. Unintentionally. I won't say that it's an accident or this or that. Like, I know what I'm putting in my body, you know what I mean? And I know, like, sometimes I'll have cheat meals and stuff. And it's been, frequently more now than ever. So, I'm just staying at the same weight. I'm not gaining any weight whatsoever. But I'm gaining huge amounts of strength. And I'm seeing measurable increases in things like my arm size and everything, and my forearm size. So, definitely an interesting thing that I'm actually gaining muscle while I'm main gaining. I never thought I would be main gaining because I think it's stupid. But I think it's stupid for bro science reasons because I love bulking. I don't actually think it's stupid when it's used appropriately. Like, especially if you're seeing gains, why increase the calories? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? If you can make gains on low calories or like main gaining or even cutting, just do that, man. Seriously. Because by the time you actually need to bulk, you'll be glad that you didn't unnecessarily gain fat and bulk when you didn't need to. The progress won't be any faster. If you're making good gains while you're main gaining, bulking for no reason isn't going to make your gains any faster. It's just going to make you gain more fat and have to cut longer in the future. And cutting sucks. So, there, I said it. If you guys didn't know that already, cutting sucks so bad. It's not really that fun. The only good part about it is waking up every day and seeing yourself a little bit leaner, especially if you're in a huge deficit. You can kind of see that day-to-day change. I mean, when I was doing chicken only for like 2 weeks, I noticed a huge difference. I don't recommend that, by the way, but I noticed a huge difference. And I might do something like that again. But again, I don't recommend it. So, anyway, Shoulder pump's going to be immaculate. The cheat meal that I did have, which is turning this into a main gain more so. The goal is still to cut, by the way, is cheesecake. Okay. Cheesecake with chocolate chip or chocolate covering. And then also had like some sort of turtle bar, chocolate and all that. So, hope you guys have a good one. Take care.